Alright, this one's going to be action-packed. We're going to accomplish several things in this episode. The first is we are going to attempt to kill a wither. Alright, now we do have the end portal set up that we can go there and we can use the easy method to kill a wither to be able to get the what we need for the beacons. But we're not going to do that for the first one. We want to do something a little bit different. We actually want to kill this one down in the tunnels of our base. Alright, so what I've done is I actually built a little chicken farm, and we kind of have this little area filled with chickens. We're going to summon the wither, and we're going to let him take out the chickens for us so we can get some wither roses. And so that's going to allow us to modify our mob farm to use wither roses instead of lava blocks. That will help kill the witches. And then that will also give us wither roses that we can actually go farm some wither skeletons. Alright, so that's going to be the first thing we are going to attempt to accomplish. And so hopefully, let's put on, I'm not going to need to fly for this. We already have everything set up. We have a bunch of chickens down there, enough that it was starting to lag me a little bit when I'm there. Ignore the loud noise from the mobs. Wrong tunnel path. There we go. Alright, we got our skulls. Alright, so we got 8 meat. We got a bow. That should be good enough. We have a sword with some enchantments. Alright, hopefully that will be good enough. So, let's see here. Which way did I go? No, I was on the bottom. I didn't go up. And here we go. Here's our tunnel. So what we're going to do is we're going to trap them in this tunnel. And we're going to attempt to take out a wither. This will be the first one for the season. Alright, so let's see here. We're going to walk down our tunnel. And as you can see, it's pretty loud from all the chickens. So I have the chickens set up there, and as you can see, it is pretty full. So what I'm going to do is pop the skulls on, hop down here, let the wither do his thing, and then we will take him out. And I think I left enough space on the tunnel that hopefully we have no issues. So let me do one last little bit of food here. Alright, so here we go. We got one. Can I reach? Yep, 1, 2, and 3. Alright. So we're going to back off. Alright, so I don't have my sword completely enchanted, and so I was worried that his healing from destroying the blocks would actually be enough to out-heal the damage we could do. So I was worried there a little bit, especially my bow was not that good. Alright, let's pop some torches up here just to clean this up a little bit. Make sure nothing spawns on us. And the nice thing is it kind of gave us a nice little tunnel here. Cleared out some blocks. I've tried to do the wither before like that to do some mining. It's much harder to control. But yep, there we go. Alright. So that actually was not that bad. I think that worked out. And what did we get? Almost 2 stacks of roses. So, and our chicken farm is still here. So we've got a nice little head. Thank you to Vanilla Tweaks for that addition of being able to get mob heads. We're going to try to collect them all, form a nice little collection. Should be good. Alright, we are now in the nether, and we are going to attempt to get ourselves some netherite. So right now we're at Y level 15. We got ourselves a stack of TNT, and what we're going to do is we're going to dig a tunnel, put some TNT down, light it, and then look for some netherite. I got quite a bit of TNT here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a tunnel here. This will be our first tunnel. And then we're going to come over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make this be our second tunnel. And then from there we would go 7. And that's going to kind of equally space out within a chunk. So basically half the chunk will be taken out here, half here. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a single stack of TNT at a time, because that's basically, we're going to alternate TNT, empty space, TNT, empty space. And so that's going to be like, basically we can go 8 chunks deep with a single stack of TNT. And so that is what we're going to work on now. And unfortunately we got some gravel to deal with. That's annoying. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dig through. Oh, blackstone, that's not good. So there's one chunk. And 2 chunks and lava. And let's see here, can we do this? Oh boy, that's going to be a mess. How many chunks did we do? 1. I lost count. So 1, 2. We are in the 3rd. Alright, so I have a feeling we got ourselves a lava messer, so we'll have to deal with that later. Or maybe not. We'll have to deal with it now. Alright, so we're on the 3rd chunk. Chunk number 4. It's going much smoother if it didn't quit changing on us. Chunk 5. We're into chunk 6. Chunk 7. And this will be chunk 8. Alright. Get our chunk borders to show. Okay, now we're ready to do the TNT. So where's my TNT at? Okay, I'm gonna try to alternate this. I don't know if I can go 2 spaces in between and still have it ignite, but I would hate to sit there and ignite it and then have only like 4 or 5 of it explode. Let's see, put too much in between that one. There we go. Because then that would be annoying to have to constantly shoot with the arrow to reignite the TNT. So we are going to go with this. And by the way, earlier I knew I had a netherite ore floating around. I found it. It was in those shulker boxes that had the Heart of the Sea in. So it was in those set. For some reason I didn't check that, I think, when I was looking for it earlier. So we have 1 so far. So what we find here is going to be what we want. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do this first one like this. And then what I'm going to do is, after we take care of this one and we look, the rest of this exploding I will try to set up using a time lapse. Alright, so here we go. Am I back far enough? Yep. Yeah, the blackstone didn't quite explode. Alright, and I should have brought lava buckets. That would make cleaning up this lava much easier to deal with. Yep, there we go. Oh no! Oh, that was close. Why did I fall in the lava? Oh well. Well. that was the first batch. Alright, so not too bad. Used a stack of TNT to get 9 netherite. We got ourselves some decent quartz here. We got ourselves some nether gold, so I think that actually worked out pretty good. Alright, is that fire? Yes. We'll make sure we have that with us. Alright, so... Oh, that's lovely. Skeleton, go away. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on the camera account. And because of that lava was over there, I think I'm actually going to scoot over this direction and hit up this side. And do another 6 chunks deep with that. So I will be right back with that. I showed you, here is the second set of TNT and how it connected to the first one. And so as you can see, there's 3 nether right there. There's some good quartz over there. And so I think that's going to be the process I'm going to do. Is I think I'm just going to go over like every 8 blocks, dig a tunnel, and blow up some of the nether. So I think that turned out pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of continue on this process, and when we come back, I will show you what I was able to get. We spent some time clearing out some more of the nether, looking for the ancient debris with some TNT, and what I'm going to show you is I found a total of 53. So we were able to find a total of 53 ancient debris. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out here and just kind of give you a view of the aftermath. So as you can see here, we pretty much cleared a lot of stuff out with TNT. I put it close enough that we basically didn't leave very much in between different areas. I was clearing a lot of the lava as we were going, but at some point I just kind of got tired of trying to deal with it, especially some of these were like little pods that kind of came down, and it wasn't just like little single lava spots, and so I just kind of worked around. I'll come back later at some point as I clear out more over there looking for some more ancient debris. I'll probably come in and try to cap this off to see if there's any ancient debris that's just kind of hidden under the lava. Alright, so this is what it looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here, and then I'm going to switch over to the camera account and kind of zoom around it to kind of give you that other view of it, just so you can see how big of a place we actually cleared out with the TNT. Alright, I think I'm going to stick with that. You could use beds to do this, but the problem is the beds will leave fire all over the place, and spending all the time trying to clear out all the fire seems like it'd be a bit of a pain. The lava's bad enough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to get over to a safe spot. Hopefully. There's a few skeletons spawning in there. Get over to a safe spot. We're going to switch over to the camera account. I'm just going to kind of pan around it to give you a feel for what it looks like. Alright, here we are. We are on the camera account. So there is the character. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come over this way and just kind of pan through this so just so you can see how far down this area goes that we cleared out. So we cleared out all the way down to here. And then we came all the way over here. And so all of this is the area that we used our TNT to clear out. So as you can see, we got these huge lava pockets to deal with. Like these single ones weren't too bad, but it's these ones that are a pain. And so there's a lot of lava on the ground, so coming through and clearing that up to see if there's any ancient debris down there will be helpful. But as you can see, this is all the space that has been cleared out by the TNT. So here you can see I kind of set it lower one of my times when I was coming down to bedrock. Alright, so I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. But as you can see, this is where it is all cleared out. So, whoop. So yeah, so you can see here's the lava lake above. And so we are basically getting into the bottom layer of that. So let's see if I can get a good view of all of this mess using the camera account. So you can see we really did a lot of work on this. And we lucked out. If we had gone to the right, we would have been running into all of these lava tubes here. So we'll have to remember that going to the right is not going to be good to do. Alright. But I do believe extending, we only went 8 chunks deep when we were doing this. That way a single stack spaced one apart would basically do one line. Coming in and continuing on this direction, I think is something we could do for another 8 chunks. And then coming in here, I think what I'll do is I'll drop down a little bit with the TNT on these stretches because we have this lava lake there and I don't want to have to keep getting into the bottom of it. So we may drop down a couple layers and then continue left, and then really we should avoid a lot of lava from the lake, and we'll have this one spot here to deal with, but that won't be too bad. Alright. And so these little spots, I think, no, that's, yep, these little spots won't be that bad to deal with. So we got a lot of room to keep going. But yes, so there we go. So that was, I'm trying to think, like 8 stacks of TNT is what I ended up using. I think there's still another 6 or 7 stacks in the shulker box there. So we can definitely do some more digging for ancient debris if needed. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hop back over to the other account. Alright, there we go. So, yep. So, we got ourselves 53 ancient debris to mess with. So, I believe we will smelt that, and I think it takes 4 of them to make 1 ingot. So, that's going to be a decent amount of gear that we can upgrade with that. We got to sit there and decide what we want to do. Which ones? As you can see, there was a skeleton off in the distance out there. I just saw him. Yep, there he is. There's a skeleton off in the distance. So we lucked out. We weren't getting a lot of pigmen or piglins spawning, so not too bad. We didn't have to worry about that. We didn't have to worry about our gold helmet, which I need to work on improving my gear a little bit. I think I'm going to do that before I turn over to the ingots. So as I said, I think we got 5 stacks, a little bit short on another one. Alright, so that's our progress we made looking for ancient debris. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to head back to the base and then show you briefly a little bit of work that's happening with the storage, and then we shall continue. Alright, here we are back at the storage, and decided we're going to go with a different style of storage. Originally I was just going to go with having single chests like this stacked onto each other, and then have a sorting system to come down. That would work well if I wanted just a single item in a chest using the different sorting systems there are. But I don't want, for example, for the wood here, I don't want to have a stack of chests dedicated to just stairs, just slabs, fences, gates. What I want is I want to be able to store logs in one set of chests, and then have all the, raw wood maybe, and then have leaves, and then have like the various products made with the wood kind of grouped together. So like a multi-item storage. And so what that means is we need to shift to a different style. All right. And so what I have here is I built one of the units. What I will do is in the description I will mention where I got this from. I believe SamosTheSage, I believe, is one of the Minecrafters that work together on this. I'll put links down to their videos in the description. That way, if you want to look at how this is built, you can follow that. So this little sliver here will sort the items and put them into the chest. And so I basically just built one piece of it just to see if it worked and how it works. And so what happens here is here's a little redstone clock. The items from this dropper are put into this hopper, and then what they do is they're combined with something. This is a filter chest, and then the items that do not match that filter will pop out into here. I have a chest there temporarily, but that will be the hoppers for the next piece. And so the items that don't match will just continue along a whole bunch of hoppers along this path. The items that do match get dropped down and come down to here, and what happens is that item gets paired up with one in here. The two things will drop down into here. One of them, the item that we sent in, will come down into the chest. The other one will be sent back into these droppers and back into the filter chest. So that's why in the video they say this is on a 8-tick delay, I believe, if I remember correctly. That way the items don't come into this hopper too fast. If they come in too fast, they'll start dropping and you'll end up pulling filter items and it will just mess up. Okay, but if you have enough of a delay so that the item that matches, when it gets pulled down, has a chance to be able to get back up into there before the next item comes in, you won't have any issues. The only thing I'm worried about is if I dump too much stuff in there with chunks loading and unloading, I might have issues. So we'll keep an eye on that. So I think what we're going to do is, this chest will be the raw wood, and I'm thinking maybe the leaves, and then this next chest will have all the different products made from that wood. So our space we're going to take up is going to be more than what we have here. But I think if we have all of this space going around, and then all of that space over there to be able to use. So I think we can get away with that. We'll be able to do it. And for right now, I'm going to build it so it's 3 chests high. And as I said before, if I start to see these fill up and it starts to be a problem, I'll just dump some chests underneath and just have some additional storage. So basically in this square here, we don't really want to build anything below down probably 20 some blocks. I want that to be kind of opened up so that can be where the additional storage can come in. Alright, so there we go. So we made some work, and you'll notice I did a little bit more clearing out of the terrain also to be able to clear out some space, because I think what we're going to do next time is, in order to do this, we are going to need a lot of iron for all the hoppers and the observers and so on. And so what we're going to do is we are going to work on villagers in the next episode. We're going to get a breeder built over there. We're going to do an iron farm over here. We're going to have our villager trading center over there. And then in this corner we'll have the profession setting. So the idea is when a villager is bred, we're going to pull the villager over here. They will be far enough away from any workstations so that we can control what their job is going to be. And once their job is set, We then will move them over to the trading section. The villagers, they get pulled over to the iron farm. We don't care what their profession is. That's not going to matter. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make sure I'm careful with where I put any workstations down so that these villagers over here don't accidentally pick up a profession I don't want. Alright, and so that is going to conclude this video. We'll just do a little check here. As you can see, my chests, just from me doing a little bit of work around here, are definitely filling up pretty nice. So I got a lot of gunpowder, and since we are in a desert, plenty of TNT, so we will do some ancient debris hunting again at some point in time. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to hit like and subscribe so you can get future videos from this channel. And there we go, we got another bee's nest. So apparently this was in 115. Whenever a tree grows, if you have flowers within 2 blocks of it, there's a small chance a bee's nest shows up. So we actually have a way of farming bee's nests, even though we don't need them. I think we're pretty full, but I think getting a few more, that way if we want to trade with some other people eventually at some point in time, we have a way to farm them. Plus we're doing this to get the wood, because we're going to need lots of wood for treasure chests, for all, well, just chests, not treasure chests, for our storage area, and for the filters on that sorting system. So thank you, have a good day, and have a good night.